Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join me in welcoming the 57th Governor of the great state of New York, Governor Kathy Hochul.
Good afternoon, everyone. So fabulous to be here. I want to thank all of you for joining us this afternoon. Please sit down. I had a meeting in Albany that went a little longer than I expected, so I just arrived, but it's always great to be back in central New York, a place I spent 4 years as a college student, a little smaller school than this called Syracuse University up the road, but I never left my love of this area and my appreciation, especially for our smaller communities that are the life and the vibrancy and the personality of our state, and those that are blessed to be on beautiful waterways and our lakes, our streams, our creeks. It's really, really just reminds me of why I love New York State so very, very much. And I want to thank our representatives from our state legislature, Senator Rachel May and Assembly Member Al Sturpey are here. Let's give them a round of applause. Jim Cunningham, the chair of the Madison County Board of Supervisors. Jim, please take a bow. And of course, you heard, we'll be hearing shortly from our mayors from Cazenovia, Marcellus, and Mexico. But this is a real gem when I think about places that are so significant. But sometimes circumstances don't go their way. And a place like this beautiful college campus that was started as a seminary and was a women's school and then two-year college, and it started on this progression where it was really a driving force of the local economy, and a lot of shops and businesses and places where the students rented housing were all part of this ecosystem here. And all of a sudden, after almost 200 years, which is quite extraordinary, all of a sudden that's gone, and you're left wondering what happens next. Is there a future? What will happen to our community? And I heard the anxiety. I talked to people from this area, and it was a big hit. And it almost reminded me on a different scale from when I was growing up in Western New York, Hamburg down the road, and Bethlehem Steel pulled up. And 20,000 jobs were gone overnight. And my grandpa had worked there, my dad had worked there, my uncles had worked there, and all of a sudden, what does the future bring? And so I knew that this was an important area, as well as our smaller communities that we'll be talking about in a couple minutes. But sometimes the state can be a good friend. And I never felt that when I spent 14 years in local government, 14 years on a town board, 14 years of direct communication with my constituents, where you'd work on a town board meeting till late at night. We had no limits on public comment, by the way. But it toughened you up. You hear from everybody. And then you'd go to the grocery store at 10 or 11 or 12 o'clock at night to get the milk for the kids' cereal in the morning. And then someone says, your town snowplow just knocked over my mailbox. What are you going to do about it? So I'm really used to being immersed in local government and how responsive it is, because these are your neighbors. And I never lost that sense of appreciation for the power of local government, whether it's our towns, our villages, our cities. And so that's what brings me here today. And we talk about how the state can be an ally and help with literally transformational investments to help communities like Cazenovia and Marcellus in Mexico. And I want to thank everyone else I mentioned here today, but also we have leaders from our labor community here as well. And I want to thank Greg Lancette. Oh, I see. Where's Greg? Did I see you again? I saw you, Greg. Greg. And other elected officials, Greg and our elected, but I mentioned Greg because there's something else that's going on not too far from this region, and that is have you heard about this place called Micron? Okay, and I'll tell you one more story is that I was fairly new as governor, and I heard that the CEO was in from Utah, visiting this site outside of Syracuse in Clay, New York, and it was a snowstorm. It was a bitter cold night in January, my first year, and I was advised not to take the kind of rickety 40-year-old state plane in a snowstorm to go there, but I also knew I was not going to miss the chance to try and sell how extraordinary Central New York is, and to persuade them that this is the place they need to make their home. And so I went there for what was supposed to be about a half-hour meeting. It went into 3 hours, and I talked about the wineries, the lakes, the villages, you know, gateway to the Adirondacks, and the St. Lawrence Seaway, and the Thousand Islands, and Niagara Falls, and the workforce, and the colleges, and the whole ecosystem. And so we won them over, but I also needed Greg and the labor community to step up to make it happen. And so I could not be prouder that there'll be people working here. There'll be babies not even born yet will be working someday to help build this 20-year project, which we're very proud of. So I want to thank our friends from labor and Greg in particular for all he did there as well. But as I talk about these buildings, and it's so great to see life back in here, but the mayor told me there's already activities. Kids are playing soccer in here. Okay, we didn't let it go too long, right? But there was a lot of uncertainty about these buildings. But the community came together, and this is, again, what I love about local government and local communities, where you know everybody. These are your neighbors. You know, my mom had a little flower shop, and everybody knew my mom, and we deliver flowers. That's what I used to do for Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, Easter. We were never home. We were always delivering flowers for Mom's shop. But I know what a tight-knit community looks like and feels like, and it exists right here. And it was the power of the people coming together that created a vision of what the possibilities were with this large but now vacant campus. And so to the local community, the local investors who stepped forward, I thank you. And they decided to purchase this campus with a whole new vision of what it could be. And I want the state of New York to be your partner in making that become a reality. So as we reimagine this former campus site, this is exactly what I'm looking for when I make the decisions on who is going to win, which community is going to win our downtown revitalization initiative. Is there a drum roll here? Any suspense out there yet? So I want to create hubs of business and job creation and housing, and preserve that historic charm we have here. So that is why I am very proud to announce that the village of Cazenovia is being awarded $10 million from the state Downtown Revitalization Initiative. $10 million. Yeah. What I love about this program is, again, I hearken back to my days in local government, and we would occasionally get state grants. I was trying to turn an old water treatment plant on the shores of Lake Erie into a visitor center, a Seaway Trail visitor center. It took me a decade because I'd get $50,000 to help fix the roof from Senator Volker, and then 2 years later it blew off because we had a wicked snowstorm and I had to start over again. I'm not kidding. And all the piecemeal projects, you never could get the impact you want all at once. This gives you that wow factor, and in a short time. And I want all the aspects of it to not be sequential. You don't do one part now and then we'll talk about it all should be simultaneous, because then the community has the realization of its own vision in a very fast time, where you could actually build that sense of, yes, things can happen, good things are happening here right in my hometown. So we could be transforming this campus into a multi-use innovation and community district. And as I said, focused on housing. We need more housing. We need more housing. And when everybody says people are leaving New York, they're obviously not leaving their houses behind, because I should have more housing, but people are staying and they're coming here, and more are coming here. And so I reject the notion that we're losing our young people because they want to be here. It's up to us, so to build the housing so they can stay and build their families and have space for hospitality and recreation, and just really be a complement to the charming downtown we have. And some of the ideas include, I can't say they're all going to happen because you have to, here's how it goes. You're going to submit to us a plan, and everybody's going to get real excited to probably submit to us about $20 million worth of ideas, and we'll have to pare it down a bit. So I'm telling you on the front end, narrow it down. But turning dorms into housing, how brilliant is that? How brilliant is that? That's exactly how we can deal with this housing shortage we have right now, and let young people know who are born here, who want to raise their kids here, that we can have housing. A young person who graduated from college doesn't need a lot of space. Doesn't need a lot of space. My first place with my husband was 500 square feet, and we had 2 bikes sitting next to the couch. It was a tiny place, but it brings you really close together when you're newlyweds, so we didn't complain. But in transforming this gym into a state-of-the-art wellness center for the community, imagine that. I mean, that's just brilliant. And so everyone who thought of this, I thank you. And a new home for Kaz Arts Cultural Center. You know, they'll draw tourists year-round. People love coming to this area. They truly do. But to give them more attractions in a better space and so much more. And I know you have many ideas to help with the downtown as well, a Wall Street Alley and the new pedestrian walkway and turning a former gas station into a park. I mean, that's brilliant. I love that idea. And just find ways to lift up our communities and let them know they really matter. And this has been a successful program across the state. And I think about some of your neighbors here, Oswego, Cortland, Fulton, Oneida, Auburn, and Syracuse. There are other places that have benefited. So go to those places, talk to the leaders of those communities, and find out what the opportunities were, but what also were the barriers that they ran into. I mean, so you can be learning from other areas where people may have made a mistake or things took too long, or just how you can keep the momentum going. And that's what I'm pleading with you to do, because the results will be extraordinary. They really will. And the whole economy of this region is just poised for greatness and to regain that the former glory that was always associated with this area. We can do this. And as I mentioned, you know, we have other businesses coming, supply chain businesses to Micron. So this area is ready for this innovation as well. So I also want to talk about smaller villages. I was traveling the state when I was lieutenant governor. I used to announce all the DRI awards, and then I'd be there for the first milestones and then the groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings and everything. And I realized that $10 million is great, but there are some communities, many of our communities are so small they couldn't actually figure out how to spend $10 million. I mean, some of our communities are literally an intersection, right? But they matter, they have value, they're important to us. And so I decided when I first became governor to create the New York Forward program, which makes smaller communities know how much I value them and that they have an important place, and we want to invest in them as well, and they're not left out from our state investments. So that's why I am proud to announce that the villages of Mexico and Marcellus have been awarded $4.5 million each, part of our New York Forward Program. Congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah. So for Mexico, that's going to be used to enhance public spaces around the downtown and you know, revitalize some of the natural ecosystems there. And you know, we know you have more to do on that front. We look forward to seeing your vision. And Marcellus is going to go toward expanding housing and co-working spaces and childcare. Don't get me on childcare, but it is the communities that are really forward-thinking are the ones that are addressing the shortage of childcare, because our economy is held back when we have a lot of people, moms in particular, who want to work, but they, like me, a generation ago, couldn't find childcare. And I had to leave a job I loved, and my husband had just started the government, so all of a sudden, like, we're down to almost nothing. But the kids turn out okay. The problem is those kids are now having their own kids, and the childcare crisis and shortage and the affordability challenges are still there. So I have leaned hard into this, and all of upstate is going to have 4K. Starting next year, we're going to get to 3K, we're going to get to 2K, and eventually we're going to be taking care of all of our children, because this is a game changer for communities and families, but also the businesses and the local economy who want these individuals to be part of their workforce. And so, Marcellus, thank you for mentioning child care as well. So again, these will be transformational for these villages, and we've already committed $1.4 billion to these two programs across the state, and you just need to go out there and see some of the communities, the before and after. And you'll be among the ranks of those that people come into for lessons on how to do this. And so let's just make this place vibrant once again. I know that I don't have the answers. I don't have to. I just have to invest in your vision. And that's what we've unlocked here today with all these three wards. So I look forward to continuing to be your partner. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring up one of our great mayors who's going to tell you what it feels like to get $10 million. It doesn't happen every day of the week. The mayor of the village of Cazenovia, Kurt Wheeler. First. We'll also be bringing up Marcellus Mayor Chad Clark and Mexico Mayor Harry Grimshaw for a photo with everybody. Okay. let me reintroduce the Mayor of Cazenovia, Mayor Wheeler.
Thank you, Governor. We're very appreciative. Thank you. On behalf of the Village of Cazenovia, I'm delighted to welcome you all here today. We'd like to thank Governor Hochul, the Regional Economic Development Council, and Empire State Development for their roles in making today's announcement a reality. We'd like to also thank all those who worked so hard to develop a competitive application for our community, especially the Executive Director of the Cazenovia Area Community Development Association, Lauren Lyons. We are excited about the transformational impact that this award will have on our region, and we pledge to be good stewards of the resources entrusted to us by New York State and its taxpayers. We've worked hard to leverage similar opportunities in the past, and will harness that experience to make the most of this incredible opportunity. In 2023, a $2 million Restore New York grant enabled us to begin redevelopment of 2 brownfield parcels in our downtown. That investment has been multiplied by over $16 million in private capital from our partner, Michael Silverberg, to create 32 units of housing, 3 retail spaces, and parking that will be a new economic engine in our village. Empire State Development also supported us with a grant to study the redevelopment of this campus in 2024, and that made additional funding from the Economic Development Administration possible. The rigorous analysis empowered by that funding created the confidence for our courageous local partners, Adam O'Neill, Kate Broduck, and their teams to purchase this campus. Congratulations. And I don't use courageous lightly. This is a big endeavor. This is a heavy lift. So Kate and Adam, thank you for all you've put into it. And we got a lot of work ahead of us, but this is a big step forward. So thank you. When we began the daunting challenge of redeveloping Cazenovia College over 3 years ago, we looked around for successful models across the Northeast, and they did not exist. Despite that, we approached the challenge with optimism, determination, and teamwork. The Downtown Revitalization Initiative will add the economic resources to that equation to turn our vision into a reality. We believe it will not only be instrumental in sparking prosperity for our community and region, but will help us to create an exemplar for other college towns across the state who may face similar challenges in the future. Thank you again for these exceptional opportunities this grant will create here on our campus and across our community and region. Thank you, Governor. It's my pleasure at this time to introduce the Mayor of Marcellus, New York, Chad Clark. Chad?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chad Clark, and I'm the Mayor of the Village of Marcellus. It is truly an honor to stand up here in front of all of you and accept this transformational investment in our community. First and foremost, I want to extend my gratitude to Governor Hochul for leadership and recognizing the potential of small communities like ours. Governor, this commitment to strengthening upstate New York and investing in the places people proudly call home is really making a difference. We're deeply grateful that Marcellus is part of that. I would also like to thank Empire State Development and the many dedicated professionals who work every day to help communities like ours compete, grow, and thrive. Programs like this are not just about dollars. They are about opportunity, momentum, and belief in the future of our local communities. A special thank you also goes to the MRB Group for their expertise and partnership throughout this process. Their guidance helped us take our ideas, refine them, and turn them into a clear, compelling vision for the future of our village. Thank you very much, guys. We've got a great team here with me today. But most importantly, I want to recognize that team, the people who work tirelessly behind the scenes to make this possible. My immediate team, putting together a competitive application of this magnitude requires dedication, long hours, and deep belief in the community you serve. Their commitment to Marcellus is what brought us to this moment today, and I'm incredibly proud to stand beside them. This award represents far more than financial investment. It represents confidence in our community, confidence in our future, and confidence in the people who live and work here every day. The Village of Marcellus has always been a place defined by its character, a historic downtown, small town charm, small local businesses, and residents who deeply care about their community. With this revitalization investment, we now have the opportunity to build on that. We're going to ensure that our village continues to thrive for generations to come. We look forward to putting these resources to work in ways that strengthen our downtown, support local businesses, and enhance public spaces, and make Marcellus an even better place to live, visit, and invest. One of the things I've learned as mayor is that the strength of the community is not measured by the size of its budget. It's measured by the dedication of the people who live right here in our town and have the courage to build our future together. On behalf of the Village of Marcellus, thank you again to Governor Hochul, Empire State Development, and the MRB Group, and everyone who helped me make this day possible. We are honored and grateful and excited to get to work. Thank you. And next up, we have Mayor Grimshaw from Mexico.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I am thrilled that the Village of Mexico has been awarded $4.5 million through the New York Forward program. Today, this award allows us to move from vision to action, from possibility to progress, and from potential to results that will shape our region for generations. Governor Hochul has demonstrated a steadfast belief in the powers of rural communities, recognized the villages like ours are engineers of opportunity, places where individuals rise, businesses expand, and communities shape their own destiny. Her commitment to empowering people and enterprises in villages like ours has made this possible, and we are very, very grateful. Her leadership, along with the work of Empire State Development, has opened the doors for communities across New York to reimagine their futures. We are especially grateful to the Central New York team at Empire State Development. I want to personally recognize Dan and Melissa for their expertise, guidance, and great support. They have provided our village. Their commitment to helping us succeed has made a massive difference. But moments like this never happen by chance. They happen when a community comes together with vision and determination. They happen when people come together around a shared belief in their community. And moments like this remind us how fortunate we are to have such a dedicated team. It takes a village, and we have a village. I want to recognize our village administrator, John Power, whose leadership kept this effort and many others moving forward. When I would get discouraged, John would always bring me up. Our village clerk, Tracy Wallace, boy did she get mad at me at times, whose organization and professionalism ensure every detail is handled with care. Our village board, they weren't too happy with me at times either, who believe in this vision and supported the work required to pursue it. I also want to recognize Morgan Spencer of MSPN Consulting. She led this development of our downtown revitalization plan and crafted the application that ultimately secured this award. Her vision and dedication transformed our community's aspirations into a plan the state could see and believe in. And of course, our entire downtown revitalization team, residents, business owners, volunteers, and community partners who shared their ideas, their passions, their belief in what this village can become. Every idea, every effort, every voice in this village has led to this moment. Together we are unstoppable, and our future begins now. The future of this village is not written by chance. It is written by us together. Today, we celebrate visions. Tomorrow, we build a legacy. Thank you, Governor Hochul and Empire State Development, for entrusting us to turn this vision into action, creating lasting impact and build a future that generations will be proud of. Thank you so much.
At this time, please remain seated for 3 photos with our winning DRI and New York Forward communities. Please remain seated at this time.